Sign me up for a good drinks of coffee in the morning, no matter what it is.
Let's get started with your weather and your traffic. It's a mess.
It is a mess. Make sure you're alert with that coffee this morning. And also you have your umbrella, the rain boots, and some gear to go along with that. It will improve as we go through the day. We're getting the heaviest of it moving through now. As we take a live look at San Jose, at least the road in the background is flowing smoothly, but that may not be your whole commute. So we'll check in with Mike in a second. Let's take a look at the radar with all of this widespread of rain. The second storm system moving in just this weekend. It's only Tuesday. We will have more rounds of rain moving in, but the heaviest of it, where we see the bright yellows and the reds, that has since moved off to the east. So some of us are catching a break. And as we look just offshore, there's still some scattered showers that will be moving in after this brief break. As we take a look at some of the South Bay and East Bay hills, we are seeing that rain now, the heaviest of it, moving through there. Heavy downpours continue to move to the east as we will see some sun starting to peek out at times. Even at lunchtime, you may want to just go outside and then run back in. There still will be that possibility of some scattered rain moving through all throughout the day, and even a slight chance of a thunderstorm too. That will be the possibility also as we go into tonight with the next storm system moving in. Wednesday, a new day, a new storm. So we are looking at, again, heavy downpours around this time tomorrow morning, and it's moving right over the city with some bright yellows and reds. Now, it could be the possibility showing up on the radar, indicating some heavy rain. Rainfall totals so far in the North Bay, about 3/4 to an inch in many spots. San Francisco racking up anywhere from 3/4 of an inch and about a half of an inch as you head farther to the south. As we look at the East Bay now, half of an inch in Castro Valley and Pleasanton, Livermore, half of an inch of rain already. And in the peninsula, we've had anywhere from a half of an inch in Redwood City to 3/4 of an inch in San Carlos, and some higher amounts as you head up toward those hilltops. In the South Bay, 3/4 of an inch and close to an inch in Santa Clara. As the rain continues to come down, we may top an inch just with this second round, and once again there's more to come. So as we look at the future cast, there will still be some scattered showers today, and then it looks a little bit drier for the evening commute. Tomorrow morning's commute still looks pretty soggy, and then as we go into the afternoon, still some scattered showers rolling on through. The next couple of days will be pretty wet, and the potential of some flooding and maybe even some gusty winds that could bring down some of those smaller trees. The next 3 days, we get a chance to dry out on Friday. High temperatures reaching into the upper 50s, and with the highs in the upper 50s, we still have the average temperatures, but well above average rain. As we go into Thursday, we'll have another round of showers. Here's a look at Saturday with another system moving in. Sunday, some spotty light showers during the morning, and then on Monday and heading into Tuesday, another round of some showers. So we are not done just yet. Let's check in now with Mike to see what's happening as you head out the door for work or school.
Well, Carrie, you've given us that note that we're...
Oh, but we're going to have more rain, and Carrie, this is getting to be kind of a cycle.
Yes, and another wet weather maker for the Bay Area. We are looking at the high clouds starting to stream in as we take a live look now at Sonoma. That to meteorologists just means that the weather is about to change. Here's a look at the storm impacts we're expecting as that next weather system moves in. King tides may cause some flooding along the coastal areas. Also, the streets and streams will be rising as that water falls. And then with the wind gusts, we could have gusts up to 40 miles per hour in some of the higher terrain, and the Sierra travel will be treacherous with chain controls up most likely. They're looking at 1 to 2 feet of snow, and there could be some higher amounts in some of the higher elevations. Looking at this system, it is a pretty big one. It's fairly widespread, so as it moves in, we'll continue to see it developing and producing more rain as it moves in late Friday night. Stepping out the door now, it is 56 degrees in Livermore, Concord and Napa at 57 degrees in San Francisco, 56 degrees. Still some long sleeves needed, but we will continue to see those temperatures warming up. The futurecast shows that by 10 or 11 o'clock, we start to see that rain moving into the North Bay, and then it starts to move into the South Bay, San Francisco, the East Bay. By early tomorrow morning, the morning commute looks wet, but this won't be a very widespread rain. It'll be very hit or miss. There will be some breaks in between, and at times it will be heavy, but we're once again not expecting the heavy heaviest rain until late tomorrow night. And even then, it's not completely covering the radar as it's shown on the Futurecast. By 10 or 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, we do still have some rain in parts of the Bay Area, but it will also start to taper off as we go into Saturday night and Sunday as that weather system moves to the east. So with it lasting for several hours, we do have the potential of some high amounts of rainfall, at least an inch of rain for the North Bay, and the rest of the Bay Area looking at an inch to maybe an inch and a half on top of the ground that's already soaked, so that could cause some runoff issues. The wind forecast starts out nice and light with winds coming in from the south, but then look at how the wind speeds increase as we go into 9 o'clock tonight. As that storm system approaches, we already have wind speeds up to 20, maybe 30 miles an hour. It gets even stronger as we go into tomorrow. So as the rain moves in, we will have some gusty winds and the king tides. High tide will be at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So the low-lying areas and some roadways that are very close to some of those coastal areas may be flooding. We'll see the same thing as we head into early Saturday morning. We'll be talking more about that, and we'll take a look at what the Sierra is expecting. That's coming up a little bit later. Scott and Chris.
All right.
Some storms headed our way. Let's get a check-in right now with meteorologist Carrie Hall standing by with a look at that weekend forecast and the week ahead. But you're tracking some serious storms heading our way.
Yes, especially this evening when the winds start to pick up. Now, we already have a very soggy ground, and then you toss in some winds at about 25 to 35 miles an hour, and that could cause some down trees and power lines. As we take a look at all of our microclimates right now, you can see the rain in the North Bay, some spotty light showers there. Elsewhere, we do have some patchy dense fog. You can barely see what's happening in that camera in the peninsula as the sun rises. San Francisco, you can see that the streets are wet. Visibility is low as you cross the Golden Gate Bridge, and in the South Bay, it is cloudy. Now into the day, that rain starts to move in, and our temperatures will be topping out in the upper 50s, some spots hitting the low 60s. But here's the storm system now. You can see that rain as it continues to move into far northern, northwestern California, and some heavy rain, some heavy downpours in spots. But it has not yet made it into the Bay Area. We will see that working its way from north to south. So in the meantime, we do have the coastal flood warning in effect, and that's where we could have some flooding in some of those low-lying areas. And we also have the concern about Mill Valley, Sausalito, the Great Highway, and Rio Del Mar. So those areas we'll be watching. Also a flash flood watch for pretty much the whole North Bay until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and runoff and debris flows will be possible once that heavy rain begins. We also have a high surf advisory, and that will be in effect until tomorrow morning. Those waves may be getting up to about 16 to 19 feet and a period of about 17 to 19 seconds. Here's a look at the Futurecast, and this is what we're expecting. This is what the radar could look like. When you see the greens, that shows that we could have a light to moderate rain, but then when it gets yellow and orange, that's an intense rain. That begins to move into the North Bay by this morning and then starts to work its way into San Francisco later on this afternoon into the evening. The rest of the Bay Area, as well as the East, South Bay, and the peninsula, seeing some heavy rain later on tonight, and it will be pouring for several hours. And then as we start out the day tomorrow, it's starting to wrap up, but it still will be very soggy and some leftover light showers. And then on Tuesday, the next storm system arrives with some heavy rain. So we are looking at the possibility of at least an inch of rain in many spots. Like Napa, looking at an inch of rain, but look at Fremont, maybe an inch and a half between now and early tomorrow. San Jose, over an inch and a half. So that could create some localized flooding. As we look at what's happening in the Sierra, unfortunately, this storm system as it moves through is very warm. Temperatures there have been above freezing, and that is creating some rainy conditions there. Well, and of course, we need the snow. So not much snow in the forecast for them until the next storm system arrives on Tuesday, and that will bring a more significant snow, but we will have some very warm temperatures there out ahead of that. Here in the Bay Area, as we go through the next few days, we start out the week with the rain wrapping up early tomorrow, some warmer temperatures. We do keep the mild weather, and then that storm system arriving on Tuesday, some soggy conditions there, and then another chance to dry out on Wednesday. In San Francisco, we'll be in the upper 50s to lower 60s, some heavy downpours on Tuesday, possibly a few thunderstorms. On Monday, once again, the rain moving out for the East Shore. There will be more storms ahead, so we do have the first one moving in between tonight
tonight and early tomorrow. The next one moving in on Tuesday. Once again, more significant snow for this year, as shown by the white here on This Is What the Radar could look like. And then on Wednesday, we take a break. On Thursday, there's another storm system that could linger into early Friday. And the weekend, as we get an early look at next weekend, also looks pretty wet. Some more active weather and the potential for a few inches of rain between now and the next 7 days. This is what the computer models show. We have red pretty much covering the Bay Area. That shows the possibility of about 2.5 to 4 inches of rain over the next 7 days. So not only a concern, Vicki, of flooding today, but also as we go into next week.
Thanks for the